Financial. Couple of minutes late on a murky, cloudy, overcast morning in Northern California. I just finished recording a great episode of Protea Conversations. I've been so fortunate with the last 4 episodes that I've recorded that my guests have been so engaging, so open to sharing a lot about their personal life, their careers, and how they got to this point in success. And I'm really, really excited to share those with all of you in the next couple of weeks. We just had one come out, which for that part for Stacey Feldman, and I have 3 more accountants as well as 1 business owner, an attorney, coming out before the end of October, which I'm really excited about. And I've got some really nice guests lined up for November and December that I need to get confirmations in and get recorded. But I'm feeling really great just about that podcast in general. It's been way more successful than I would have ever dreamed of, and I'm super happy for that, ability to just share time with people, have a good conversation, learn about them, and get some great information, some great lessons to share with all of you. But that's not what you're here for today. That's just my advert for Protea Conversations. Today, we're about to talk about things in the accounting world. And if you're not aware, today is September 17th. That means yesterday, September 16th, was a big deadline. If you filed extensions, the 415 deadline, your businesses needed their tax returns filed yesterday. So for all you tax guys out there, congratulations, you survived another big deadline. I know it's only 30 days until you get all those individual tax returns in. I know, shout out to my CPA, Derek Wilkinson, gave him the green light to file ours today. So happy to get that behind us. So I know you're still busy, but really what I'm here to talk about is to talk to the business owners that are paying attention. Did you only have your taxes filed yesterday? Were you one of those business owners where the last second the return was filed? If you are, I ask you the important question, why? Why was it filed so late? Is it something you did? Were you somebody who just didn't get your information to your tax provider on time? Or possibly the more likely situation, did your accounting resource not have your accounting books for 2023 in place for you yet? Or even one of the worst situations, you got your tax provider your information months ago and they left it to the last minutes, either because you're not important enough to them or they're just too busy. Was this your fault or the accountants in your life not looking after you? Now, some would say if you're a business owner and you have accountants that don't just care and you're still working with them, that's on you. So pretty much you could circle this around and say, hey, business owners, you need to do a better job to manage your accounting records to make sure your taxes are filed with more than enough time so you do not have the stress of having to review and okay a set of tax returns on the last possible moment. And this is where I'm going to help you. If your accountant is just not getting their job done, their accounting records are full of errors, they're not closing out timeously, or your tax person does not particularly seem too interested in getting your books done on time, your tax return on done time, I have a solution for you. Go find someone else. Here is some advice. You do not have to stay with the same accounting provider, and you do not have to stay with the same tax provider. There is no rule, no regulation, no laws that say you have to stick with them even if the service and quality of work is terrible. There actually is a rule that says if they're not doing a good job, get rid of them. Go find somebody that will do the job the right way, that will give you the service you deserve. Now is the opportunity. Do not wait until 2025. People will be full. They will not have time for you. Now, this time, this next couple of weeks, this is where you find your new tax provider. This is where you find your new CPA. But I promise you, if you want that relationship to go well, you have to make sure that you have a good accounting resource in place. And if that information is getting late and you're the accounting resource, hire somebody. I know it seems ridiculous to spend money on accounting, something I can do myself. But having a good professional in place will make a big difference to your business. You will not have to worry about it, stress about it, or find time that takes away from the things you love to do your own books. If you hire the right resource, you'll get good information on a timely basis that will allow you to make better business decisions. And who knows, if you're looking for debt, investment, or an exit, having a great set of books in place that a professional can explain will make those processes so much easier as well. I'm just touching the surface level on why accounting is important to your business, and you need to stop seeing it as a grudge purchase. Right now, think about all the stress you had around the tax season, making sure your tax return got in on time. That stress should frustrate you, tire you out, and force you into action to go find a better option. I know a ton of great accountants in all sorts of industries. So go to my LinkedIn, drop me a DM, and I will make an introduction for you. And if I don't know somebody in that industry, I will reach out to some people, find that person, and introduce you to them. Business owners deserve better. And of course, if you're in the wine industry, alcohol beverage industry, hi, Protea can help you. But I think we need to do more than just say, go out and do it. That's probably not the most actionable advice. I guess it is actionable, it's just not useful, right? Go find somebody. What the heck does that mean? So I thought I would give you some ideas on things to look for. So I've got a list going on here of just a little bit of information that we can look at and try come to a point that you make better decisions on who you're working with. Because Johnny on the corner, or my aunt's uncle's brother, sister, cousin who once did bookkeeping in high school is probably not going to cut it. They might be able to do a good job, but if you've got a complicated business and a complicated industry, you might be looking for a little bit more. If you're trying to grow your business, you might need a little bit more. If you haven't heard of things of like CTA or sales tax, you probably need a little bit more. So here are some thoughts that you can take when assessing an accounting option, your current one, as well as the ones that you're going to look at and see, hey, maybe I should move. Number one, credibility. Let's make sure this is a real accountant. Let's make sure this person knows what they're doing. That could be years of experience, because years of experience make a big difference. It could be professional qualifications. It could be credentialing in software that you use. Make sure there is some sort of credibility behind the person that you're dealing with so that you can trust that at a bare minimum, they understand what they're doing. Not that they understand your business, but they understand what they're doing. That's the bare minimum. Credentials don't mean everything, but they do help. So look for that. Make sure it's relevant to what you need as well. EA, CPA, great for taxes. In the accounting side, there's many professional boards like bookkeeping, National Bookkeepers Association, people that are very ingrained with their software, like they're Intuit or QuickBooks certified. Those are really important. Using the software is half the battle. So look out for credibility. I think one of the most important things to look for is making sure you're speaking to a resource that is accurate and reliable. We want to make sure that the person that we're working with puts accuracy in the foreground. This is the most important for us. And they're reliable in terms of when they work. They're open and honest and say, hey, you're a Monday job or you're a Tuesday job. We'll go to the bigger organizations where they've got structures that they can touch your books on a daily basis as you need them. But think about your accountant as being somebody who is accurate and reliable. And you can get that from asking for references and talking to people they currently work with to ask the question, are they accurate and reliable? They might come up with, yeah, they're reliable all year round, except for that 4 weeks they took it once a year. But that's fantastic. It doesn't matter because for 11 months of the year, they are exceptional. That's the type of thing that you want. You want that person to be. You want that confirmation that accuracy is important to them and they are reliable. Number 2, look for relevance. I see this a lot of the time where people go to their tax CPA and their tax specialist. You go to the website, they talk about tax, and they're like, can you do my bookkeeping? And they're like, okay, we'll do it for you. That's a terrible option. It's not that they can't do it. It is just not a priority for that business. Their priority is tax. So let them do your taxes. They have no priority for the bookkeeping other than getting the books ready for the taxes. So when are they going to care about your accounting? When they need to do the taxes. That is not a relevant resource for your day-to-day needs. Also, if your transactional accounting is falling behind, there's probably no reason to hire a CFO. The contra goes to that as well, right? If you're struggling to take that information and think strategically about it, there's no point of hiring a bookkeeper because they're not going to give you that strategic insight. So make sure you're hiring the correct relevant resource and try not be dubbed into or fooled into hiring more than you need. There's a lot of people that like to upsell you. Focus in on the core responsibilities, especially if your cash is limited. Focus in on what your business needs right now and get a person that does that on a regular basis. It's part of their core responsibilities and they have time to focus on your business. You might also want to look for a little bit of industry expertise. You got inventory and you're working with a bookkeeper that you're the only inventory client. Not the greatest idea. Ease of use is something that you should think of. Are you going to work with somebody that makes life easy for you or somebody that makes it incredibly difficult to work with you? You're looking for somebody who's organized, has great communication, is clear on deadlines, tells you how they'd like to receive work, how they're going to send you work. You want this process to be easy. Accounting is uncomfortable enough as already, right? It's a very personal relationship. You're sharing a bunch of personal information with some stranger and hoping they're going to help you. So look for somebody that makes it really easy to work with. We'll roll into ease of use, and communication is so important. Look for somebody who communicates efficiently, effectively, and regularly. Consistent communicators are amazing. People that communicate to tell you that, hey, I'm falling a little bit behind, but don't worry, I'll get it to you by X date, is better than the person that you never hear from. You will feel so much better about your accounting resource, your tax resource, if they're just better communicators. You will prefer to work with 2 equal tax providers, with one who communicates regularly and the one that communicates once in a while. Communication is important. When you're thinking about your accountant, one thing you want to think about is how focused are these people in staying up to date with local and state and federal regulations? How focused are they on staying up to date with changes in accounting policies? How focused are they on making sure they're up to date with the best business information? That can be coming from the conversation that you have with them, like, hey, what is your process of making sure you're up to date with all the latest and greatest changes and regulations? It could be somebody that has a great blog post that brings up news. Doesn't have to be the most regular blog post, but if they've got a bunch of posts for the most key changes in small businesses' lives, probably good to use it. It means they're staying up to date with things, right? They're thinking about it. They're thinking about more than just the accounting. They're thinking about how can these different things affect your business. You want to look for a person that wants to improve on a daily basis because they understand that them getting better is good for themselves and for you as the client. Another item that you want to look at is making sure that your accountant isn't scared of technology. I'll give you a hint right now. If you speak to an accountant today and into the future and they tell you they use QuickBooks Desktop because QuickBooks Online is terrible, put the phone down straight away. Put it down. They have no idea what they're talking about. They're living in the 90s. The last time they looked at a QuickBooks Online when it was first released. The software is moving forward. They probably don't know anything about AI, probably a little scared of it, tell you that don't worry about it, it's going to have no effect on your business. You have to make sure that your accountant that you're using is thinking about technology. Now, I'm not saying go and find that person that has a new toy every week, but we want to make sure that the person is taking time to assess the tools they're using, make sure it's the most relevant and will help your business. We have a process where we review our technology all the time. What is it? How is it changing? What does it look like? Make sure that the accountants that you're using actually have tools that can help your business be efficient and automate things as much as possible. Because automation will reduce the error load. And we spoke about it at the beginning. We want somebody who focuses on accuracy. A technology-driven accountant will focus on technology. And lastly, something I think is really important, very, very important, is something you need to look for is all about the accessibility. You need to think of this person in terms of, are they accessible to me in terms of price, availability, digital platforms, and will they be there to talk to me about my needs and my challenges? Accessibility, the ability to actually talk to this person, this ability to actually get in front of this person, to have a conversation with this person, to send them an email and know they're going to respond to me is so important. And the cost shouldn't be your number one factor, but you also have to be realistic. I'm sure that one of the big four's got great outsourced accounting for wineries. I know it because I've spoken to some of them before, and they do a great job on very specific tasks with very smart people in that position. But most of the wineries I deal with could not afford 5 hours of their time because their billable rate is almost 5 times my billable rate. So maybe they can do a better job than we can at Protea. Maybe. Who knows? I'll give them a benefit of the doubt. But if you can't afford them, they're not accessible to you. Because there's no point in buying 2 hours of their time when you actually need 10 hours of our time. And you have to make sure that the person you're going to go to actually has time for you, can actually fit into their schedule, and can be available to you when you need them. Now, I'm not talking about they have to be able to drop ahead at any moment and jump on a call with you. But hopefully they can find time to be like, you have a question, great, I can talk in the next 2 days at this time, will it work for you? It's that time of the year, folks. We've just had a tax deadline. If you were filing on the last day, you need to look deep inside of you and go, was it a me problem, or do I have the wrong resources in place? Now is the time to get better accounting in place, to make your life easier, give you a better chance of being successful. And if the holdup is your tax provider, now go find a change. It might cost you a little bit more. It is uncomfortable. It is difficult. But go find somebody. Talk to other people. Look to your friends and colleagues and peers and say, who are you using? I'd love to talk to them. You do not need to get stuck for another year with a terrible accounting option. Now is the time to make a change. Now is the time to go find somebody that's actually going to care about your business, that is credible, is focused on accuracy, is the relevant resource for the work that you need, is somebody that is easy to work with, somebody that is accessible to you, and like I started with, somebody that actually cares. An accountant that cares will not let you file on the last day. And if you are filing on the last day and you've got that accountant that cares, then you need to do better. I've said this once, I've said this 1,000 times. Accounting is not a grudge purchase. It is a resource to your business that can help you be successful if you're open to the partnership and the relationship that comes with it. Go find yourself a better accountant, take a lot of stress out of your life, and be successful. Have a great week. Until next time, be kind and goodbye.